Hey, what's going on, YouTube? So today, this should be a pretty quick video. So today we're gonna do the rear brakes on the Chrysler 200. So we'll get those smacked out, then get those done, and then we can move on to the front with both the struts and the brakes. So I did the other side already, back passenger side. Like I said in my last video, got irritated on the side, broke some stuff, and then tried fixing it, and then actually broke it beyond repair. So because I got a little too excited when I was trying to fix it or something like that. I drilled something out a little bit more than I should have. But if you could hear that slight little whistle and idle in the background, that's the car I bought that I was talking to you guys about in that last video. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to hear it. I don't know if I'll give you guys a sneak peek or not. I mean, you're probably not going to be excited about it as I am, but we'll see. You hear that? This car brings a smile on my face. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me now, but yeah. Well, that's the car. I got to do a video on that car. So maybe after the 200, we'll do unveiling of that car, and then I have some maintenance stuff to do to the Ram, and I just have all kinds of crap to do. So let's hop to these rotors, get this video knocked out, and then I can move on to the front end. So I'll see you guys in a minute after I set up. Okay, so now that I got set up, this is what your stuff is going to look like after you get your wheel off. Jack up the car, jack stand, and then obviously you're gonna have pads in here, but this is how it's gonna be. And then so to get your caliper off, it's not like your normal sliding caliper. Your brake line is gonna come in here, and it's gonna be really close to this bolt, and you're not gonna be able to get this bolt off. I mean, I wasn't able to. And anyways, what happened was I tried bending this over a little bit so I could get at this bolt to take it off, and that didn't work, and I ended up breaking the line, and now I need a new line and to bleed the brakes and all that kind of crap. So what you need to do is just take the two bolts off that actually mount the caliper on the mount for the spindle, and those are, I think they're like 14s. Yeah, so these are 14s. So you'll just take these two off. Let me put you on your stand. All right, so like I was saying, 14s, top and bottom. So obviously your brake line is still going to be connected to this. So you'll just take the 14s out, top and bottom. Obviously these are just loose in there. So you take those out, and your line's still going to be connected. So you'll just pull this away from your caliper. And then to change your pads, what you're going to do is, this is, your full floating caliper. So you'll just slide these pins out, and that'll pull all of this apart. And then as you're doing that, you need to take the pads out as well. So you'll take these front pads out, and then you'll slide this out, and then take the other pad out, and then it should just come apart like that. Actually, I'm going to throw the new pads in now that I got the grease everywhere. I'll throw the new pads in, and then I'll kind of show you what I'm saying. So give me a second. All right, so here's what I was talking about. So the pads are in there. So what you're going to do is, I'm not going to pull this pad out because I don't want to mess up these clips mess up these clips. So you'll take this inner pad out. There'll be clips in here. I'll show you guys that a little bit later. There's clips in there. So you'll slide this pad out. You slide that pad out, and then you'll be able to just easily slide these apart without this pad in there. So you have to take both these pads out before you can actually take this bracket off. So when you take this bracket off, I mean, you don't necessarily need to take this bracket off, but I would take it off to re-lube up your pins and whatnot, put new grease in there, and use caliper or actual brake grease, because then it withstands high temps and all that stuff. So that should be more or less cut and dry for the caliper, taking it apart. And then when I put it together, I can show you, because you know, putting it together is the opposite of, you know, removal. So that should be it for this, for disassembly, which, I mean, it makes sense to me, but I don't know if it's going to be confusing to you guys. So after you get the caliper off and set that aside, it normally sets up here pretty good, but as I don't have a brake line on it, I can put it. Subaru's over there making noise again. Alright, so after you get your caliper off and your pads out and change your pads, I mean, you don't have to do it in that order, you can do it in any order you want. You come over here and you take this little plug out. I'm not sure how better you're going to be able to see it, but you'll take this plug out, and what that plug will give you access to is your star wheel for adjusting your inner pads for your brake shoes for your e-brake. So I'll just show you a view of it with the rotor off, since obviously I took this off already. So what that's going to do is that's going to give you access to this little star wheel that is under, yes, that's a little star wheel right here. So that's what's going to adjust your pads in and out. So you need to adjust that in, so then your pads go in, and then you can easily slide your rotor off. And then when you put this back on, you're going to do the same thing. So you'll just slap your new rotor on, and then you're going to go in here and you're going to adjust. I'll show you actually real quick. I'm going to load up my caliper and get my caliper on here, and then you want like a very, very, very slight bit of drag. Like, you don't want it, you know, free spinning like this, because you want your parking brake to be slightly engaged. So then that way, when you do engage your brake shoes or your e-brake, that your pads are going to actually push out enough to hold the car in place. Because if you don't adjust these correctly, then your car is still going to slide all over the place when your e-brake's engaged. So we'll cut to loading the caliper up, new clips, the copper grease and all that kind of good stuff, and then I'll go back in here and then we can adjust this. Well, it's actually down over here. We can adjust that, and then I'll show you the kind of drag that it should be. So this is the calipers. Okay, so we got these clips. So you got the new clips with the caliper. If these clips are in really poor condition, they will not work and they will make a bunch of noise like they are on my Ram. So I would recommend you change these out whenever you do a new pads or rotors. So I'll just clip in there like that. So they clip on there like that, both sides. And then after I get these both clipped on there, I'm going to go through and throw a little bit of the copper grease on there, so that way the pads can, you know, freely move around and all that kind of stuff. This one doesn't need to do anything, obviously. And then I'm also throw a light coat of grease on the front of the piston as well. So let's get this pad in there. Also, this pad does have another vibration spring on it as well. So between these and this vibration spring, you shouldn't have any brake noise. So alright, so I'll just take a little bit of my little copper grease. I mean, you don't need to slaz this stuff on there because it's not going to really move that much. You know, in the course of its life, it's, you know, it'll end up, you know, eating through the pad and then, you know, moving, you know, a 1/4 inch if you run the pads down that far. So you don't really need to really go crazy with it. Just need to get a little bit on there. And then we'll put the pad in there. You can do this easier with the it actually off, but since I decided to put the upper pad in, now I have to do it this way, which is not, you know, not really that difficult to do it this way, but it would be a little bit easier if this was out. So I got this in, and now we can put this on the rotor. Oh, and by the way, too, you're going to need a tool to push your piston, your little cup back in, and they sell those at any parts stores. It's just a little plate that holds right here, and then has a plunger that goes down and pushes that back in. These aren't a screw type or any silly stuff like that. You literally just push them back in, put your pads in, and away you go. Let me grab the tool real quick. So this is the tool I was talking about. So you just put this in there, obviously loosen it or tighten it, whatever you need to do. Put this in there, that holds the top of the caliper, and then you just adjust this, and that pushes the piston back, or the cup back into the bore of the caliper. So now that we got this all fully loaded and everything on there, I still need to put my little vibration clip thingy on there, wherever I put that. Oh, right there. Okay, so I got that little vibration clip on there. I got my two little sliding clips in there, my little vibration thingies. These are all just for like to help it slide and vibration and all kinds of cool stuff. I can't tell you exactly what all these do. I know this is for vibration purposes 100%, but I'm sure these clips are as well. But no, I'm rambling. We'll just this is a fully loaded caliper ready to go back on. So we'll put the caliper back on. Actually, I'm going to spray these pads off real quick. Slap the caliper on and then tighten it up, and then we can adjust our parking brake. These don't need to be super tight, but they definitely need to be snug. Not sure what the torque spec is on it, but when your elbow clicks, that's what it does. That's what the torque spec is. So click. Click. So those are good to go. So now, like I said, we'll go in here and adjust our little star wheel. So then we can have like a very slight bit of drag on our parking brake. And we can get that all set up, and then all I'm waiting for is my brake line, my new brake line, and then we'll get that run, bled, and all that kind of stuff. So we'll adjust this parking brake, and that should be the end of this video. Nice little short video. Subaru's making noise. Alright, so take this little rubber doohickey out, this little plug. Let me get a better tool for that, which is just a smaller screwdriver. Alright, so got that off. I don't think you guys are going to be able to, I don't think you guys are going to be able to see this like at all, because honestly I can't even see it. So we'll just kind of show you, I guess. Okay, so there it is. Now, I don't know if I'm going the right way or not, but we'll find out in a second. So far, no. No, I'm not going the right way. Oh, too much. There you go. So now those are not perfectly adjusted, but they're pretty close. Let's do one more. There you go. Now, like that's pretty much where you want it. So, like if these were actual drum brakes, you'd maybe want a little bit more drag than that. But since they're parking brakes, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So, like if you can feel like the little slight bit of drag, and you can kind of hear the pads contacting. So that's kind of what you want. So that should be good. So that's more or less it for the rear brakes, both adjusting them and whatnot. So that's how easy peasy a rear brake job is for a Chrysler 200 if you don't wreck stuff. So this is what I did on the last caliper, wherever that is. Right there. So this is the last caliper, and what I was saying is when I broke it, I broke that off. I broke the actual end of the brake line in there, and I tried drilling it out, and I got a little too excited, and I used too big of a drill, and I drilled the whole damn thing out. So that was junk. Got irritated, or I was irritated when I was doing it, and I just did the wrong thing. And that's why when you're doing this stuff, just walk away sometimes before you break stuff, not after you break stuff. So that should be it for rear brakes on this thing. Quick dirty video. Well, not dirty, actually didn't get dirty at all. Now I'm rambling. I'll have to see how this video is out, because it's 17 minutes and this is just for this one clip, so it'll probably be as long as all my other videos. But that's rear brakes on a Chrysler 2012 Chrysler 200. I forget the years of this body style, and plus this is the same brakes for a whole bunch of things apparently. But anyways, rambling again. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.